You wanna come here? You little idiot! Hi guys, it's Elena and I'm in- Ow! And I'm- Ow! Stop it! And I'm enchanted to have you be here on my channel. I have a little guest here today with me since I'm kind of doing like a greenery background. This is Solstice, she's my little puppy. I have a couple videos with her already and she's just as excited to have you here on my channel as I am, and she's gonna ask you to, you know, hit that like button and subscribe. As she says hello and tries to nibble on my hands. I have like treats for her on the side, so if she gets a little too rowdy, I'll give her some. So on today's video, it's actually been a requested video from a couple of my subscribers and a couple of my followers on Instagram and a couple of my followers on other platforms about like witchy stuff and witchcraft stuff, is how to write a spell for a beginner. And I'd like to think that I'm a little bit of an expert over here regarding writing spells, since all of the spell work that I do, all of the magic I do, all of the manifestation stuff that I do is I write myself. I don't like to use others. I like to create things from my own energy, pretty much. So I'm going to share with you how I write my spells. There's so many other ways, so many different options, so many different styles, so many different ways. There's literally no wrong way for you to write a spell or write a manifestation or create an intention specifically for your purpose, your reason. Everybody's thoughts, everybody's needs are different, so this is kind of my way and I just decided to share it with you if you are curious to check it out, so just keep watching. I've been a practitioner for over 13 years and there's no way that I know everything and no way that I remember everything, so I have cheat sheets. I have a bullet journal, and in my bullet journal I have a little cheat sheet in the beginning, and it's like correspondences with the new moon, correspondences with colors, days of the week, and that type of stuff, which really helps out. I have my book of shadows, my grimoire. This is actually my older one. I have a new one. This one is kind of filled up and the newer one is a little big and bulky and I didn't want to like bring it out here. So this is my book of shadows. And for today's video, I'm using notes because I kind of have specific things to talk about and I kind of have specific things to share with you. Now, I'm really going to be just going over the basis of spell writing. I'm going to leave it up to you to do your own research, to see how magic works, learn the basics of magic, basics of energy work, basics of spell casting, pretty much. This is just the basics of writing a spell. I'm also curious, I'm also thinking of creating maybe lessons or something like that along the magical aspects, so let me know down in the comments if you'd be curious to watch stuff like that, because I kind of feel like I'm being pulled to teach more, pulled to share more of my experiences, so maybe that's one of the ways that I'm gonna go about it. I don't know, I just want to know if you'll be interested in watching something like that. So, on to the basics. And I kind of want to leave you off with this like little rhyme. It's all about intention and invocation combined with invocation and correlation, all to enhance your manifestation. Now please do not unclick from this video because that was kind of funny and terrible, and I just wanted to share a little rhyme with you. Are you bored now? Would you like a cookie? Here you go. Now go be a good girl. Thank you. So I figured I'd share that little rhyme with you and kind of to get you thinking of what the basics is. To do energy work, to write any spells, the number one thing you need, the most important ingredient is yourself, your intention. What are you looking to accomplish? Are you looking to create a self-love spell jar? Are you looking to create a protection? Are you looking to create something for success? What is your intention? What are you looking forward to doing? What is it that you need from this spell? So your intention is the number one importance, and you could just leave it at that. You could just have that intention, have that thought, constantly repeat it, have it like a daily mantra or whatever. That is a spell in its own. It doesn't need to rhyme, it doesn't need to be fancy, it just needs to be you and what you're trying to pull to yourself from the universe. So what are you trying to attract to yourself? So just that thought, just that intention, it's the most important part, and I feel like it's the most needed part in spell work. You don't need all the fancy bells and whistles, that your intention is what you need. Then come the next steps. So I feel like after having your intention, the next thing is to kind of have an invocation of it, meaning you can either speak it out loud or write it down, then speak it out loud. That kind of attracts a little bit more of your energy, more of your attention, and kind of gives it a little bit more power towards your spell, in my opinion at least. I feel like the longer you work on a spell, the more energy of yourself you put into the spell, the more powerful that spell becomes. So if you write something down and then you read it out loud, you're adding more of yourself into it and you are providing more magic into it. I hope that makes sense. Think of it this way, if you're signing documents, you're putting in your signature, you can do so much just in the mundane world with just your signature. Imagine writing out a spell, imagine writing out your dreams. That's why journaling, I feel, is very important. That's why writing down to-do lists, writing down your future ambitions is very important. That writing, the moment you put your hand with pen to paper, it creates something more rather than just an intention. It really amplifies your intention. So taking the next step from your whatever you need your spell to be, putting it down into paper and then reading it out loud, that is a big step, and that's already a big step for that spell. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. Like I said, you really don't need any of those bells and whistles. If you've seen all those Hollywood movies or shows or whatever, how they need to have this specific candle and like a dragon's claw or leg of a toad or a cat whisker, that type of stuff, it's not exactly necessary to create a good spell. But it can be helpful, which kind of leads into the amplification and correlation type of aspect of my little rhyme. The amplification and correlation are things that you can use with or for or alongside to kind of help improve your spell, give it a little boost, give it a little oomph. And you really don't need to use it. I do enjoy using it in my spell work. I end up making spells more elaborate than they really need to be, but that's just the way I work, that's just the way it works for me. And that however you need it to do whatever you need it to do, pretty much. For instance, for amplification and correlation, you can add crystals or you can add herbs. That is, I feel like that's one of the most common things you can use. For instance, in crystals, you can use obsidian for protection, or you can use kyanite for communication. You can use tourmaline for grounding. Quartz can pretty much be a substitute for any of them. Clear quartz can be a substitute for pretty much any of them, or if you put it together with alongside crystal, it amplifies its power. So for instance, if you're doing a protection spell and you add obsidian to it, it kind of gives it that little oomph. Since obsidian already has protection properties, it already has protection vibrations, it already has that like energy alongside with, combining it with your energy and intention for protection, and kind of grows bigger, and that kind of becomes a little bit powerful of a thing. So you don't necessarily need it for your spell to work, but I feel like it does help. Same thing with herbs. You can use, I don't know if you consider salt an herb, but I would. You can use salt for purification or protection, pepper for protection, sage for grounding or cleansing. I'm giving my little puppy scratches here. Or you can use patchouli for love, and so many other herbs, like just in your kitchen. Like go to your kitchen and see what kind of herbs you have. If you have rosemary, salt, pepper, sugar, flour, like that stuff has meaning. That stuff has power behind it. I have a video up, it's called 9 ways to add witchiness into your life or something along those lines. I'll link it up at the top. And it's just 9 simple ways that you can invoke magic into your life, and it's simple. Hi, thank you for the kisses. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you, thank you. Would you like to go play with something now? Go on, please. I'm busy. You want to help? If you want to help, you can come here and sit. Okay. Those types of things you can help amplify your spell. You could take it a step further and do it on a specific day of the week. Specific days of the week have specific meanings. They have correspondences to specific planets, and it kind of helps amplify. Ha! I'm talking here. I'm busy. I'm busy. I know you want to play, but I'm busy. Ow! Izzy, This is what you want? You want another cookie? I'm not done yet though. For instance, things like Mondays associated with the moon, with water, with feminine energy. And all of that in that specific day is good for divination or psychic abilities or emotions, that type of stuff. And every day of the week has its correspondences, so you can even amplify your spell further. For instance, if you're trying to do a communication spell, whether you're trying to create better communication channels with a coworker, with your spouse, with your significant other in any sort of way, and you want to do a spell that's targeting like communication, it's great to do it on a month. Easy! No! I don't think I'm gonna be doing a video down here ever again! Go on! I just got French grip on my puppy. So doing a spell on a specific day of the week helps amplify whatever you're trying to work towards. You can even take it another step further and do spells under a specific moon cycle. Full moon has its own energy correlations, new moon has its own energy correlations, that type of thing. You could take it even a step further and monitor planetary alignments, all of those energies combined. You could take it even a step further and have it in a specific calendar day. So there's literally no end to how. Thank you for the butt scratchies. Is that what you want? So there's literally no limit, no end to how you can write your spell or how much in depth you can provide the spell for it to be. You can kind of do what feels right for you. You can implement specific colors, specific elements. You can even work with deities. Different cultures have different deities, different backgrounds, that type of things. All of that, I feel like the more energy and work and time and thought you put into your spell work, the more it has a chance to manifest and come out to be the right way that you want it to be. It's not necessary for you to make them rhyme. Although I enjoy making my spells rhyme, I feel like it helps me remember them better and it kind of flows a little nicer and I get that extra like witchy feeling alongside with it. One of the spells that I like to say every morning, and I do consider it a spell, or you could call it a mantra, however you want it, is something as simple as air and sea keep harm from me, earth and fire bring my desire. And that's all I do, is just say it in the mornings. I feel like I invoke the elements because I say it repetitively every day. I feel like it adds a little bit of an oomph, and it's just kind of a nice sweet mantra that really does something that I want it to do, if I make sense. If you have any questions, feel free to ask down in the comments. I'll be more than happy to help anything, answer any of your questions. I have a little bit of experience with all this stuff and I'm really looking forward to share it with all of you guys. I'm not sure if I have anything else to really input regarding the basics of spell work. There's just so many things that you can do, so many ways that you can go about it, and there's no limit and there's no right or wrong answer, as I've said before. I believe that spell work and magic and energy work has to be something personal, has to come from you specifically. So being able to write your own spells, being able to write your own rituals, create your own tools for your work, your magic, your purpose, adds a lot of power than borrowing someone else's, at least in my opinion. So here's that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a like, thumbs up, the whole shebang, and me and this little puppy will see you guys in the next video. Probably not in this location because the kisses just don't work for me. Alright, hope you have a great day. Bye!